This is a story of humanity on the edge of extinction. A story where the scales have already been tipped in favor of evil. As every night has its dawn, the long darkness spread across the land has worked hard to keep the light dim and that glimmer of hope well hidden. As a breeze blew in from the west, a young man pauses in his work to look over the field he was tending. The breeze was hot. It was always hot. As it swept over the field, it picked up dust and dry earth, sweeping through the sparse rows of potato and prickle pear bushes. Elthan wiped the sweat from his brow and thought back to the stories the elders had told him growing up, thinking how different the land must have been in the ages before the blighting.
You know, at one point, long ago, this whole valley used to be lush and green. It was long before my father's time. This whole valley could grow any crop you wanted. They had strange foods, and so many kinds it would make your head swim. Some are the same we have today. Others must have been able to grow before the ground went dry. They also had many different types of animals. My grandfather told me stories about a great horned beast with shaggy brown hair, a monstrous beast that roamed in herds as far as the eye could see. I myself can't imagine what that life would have been like.
If I think hard enough, I can almost imagine the grass, lush and green. Gosh, what it would be like to eat something other than potatoes, beans, and prickly pears.
Before the land became sick, this whole area was a different place. You could actually stay out at night with no worries. There was no danger. Children could play, and their parents had little to worry about.
Right, just like those flying machines you keep telling me about. How can something take a person up into the sky like that? If we were meant to fly, the Creator would have given us wings like birds. I guess I have to believe it since the elders say the same thing. They say they have books that describe these machines. Can you even believe they claim they're made of metal? That's the same as throwing a rock into the sky. Besides, no one goes out after dark unless they have a wish for death.
Boy, you best believe it. Before the land became sick, this whole area was a different place. You could actually stay out at night with no worries. Trust me, the world was crazier than either you or I could imagine, and safer too.
Grandfather, do you truly believe those stories? It is hard to believe that there was a time where we could grow much more than this. Every year it seems to get harder and harder to grow much of anything at all. What we grow now is barely enough to feed us, let alone take any to market. I checked the fields yesterday like you asked. We may have to burn some more crops. They have the blight. I think we've burned more this year than the last 2 years combined.
I don't see why my grandfather would have lied to me. Your father used to ask me the same questions at your age. He refused to believe that there was ever anything different. He was just as hard-headed as you two, probably more so. As for the crops, we'll make do. We always have. Times like these, as long as the whole village pulls together, we have always made it through.
Grandfather, do you know why the Seekers came for my father? There has to be a reason. Why have they never been back since?
I've been asking myself that same question for years, son. I wish I knew. They came into town and started asking questions. They knew who they were looking for. I don't know why they chose your father out of all the people in the village, but they did. When they came to the house, there was about 10 of them, all cloaked, and you couldn't hardly see their faces. The leader talked in a raspy voice and asked for your father by name. They wouldn't say why they came for him, only that if they didn't leave with him, they'd slaughter the whole village. Your father knew the stories. He knew they were speaking the truth. I protested. I tried to get him to take me, but they wouldn't. They had no interest in an old man. No one knows why they come or where they come from. I've heard stories back when we had visitors that there have been other people taken from other towns. They're always younger. They have no use for anyone other than who they came for. If someone refuses to go, they wipe out the whole village as punishment, so no one dares say no. The ones they take are never seen again. No one knows where they take them, or even if they're still alive. Asking why is dangerous. Best leave it alone. Anyway, enough talk about that for today. The sun will go down, so we best get the animals inside.
Might as well get things wrapped up soon. He's right. The sun's gonna be going down before I know it. Come on, let's go get the others and tuck you in for the night. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like that's all of you. Grandfather, what do seekers look like? I know you said they come dressed in black, but you never told me what they look like. How am I supposed to know a seeker if I come across one?
I guess you have a right to know what happened to your parents. Bad enough you never met your father. Elton, he was a fine man. He would have made you proud. I know it isn't easy growing up the way you did, not knowing your mother, died giving birth to you and all. Your father was taken not that many years after. Just the sight of the seekers will send a chill down your spine. They're twisted creatures dressed in black, with pale white skin and piercing eyes. They were armored too. Some say it was forged in an unnatural way and almost swallows the light. They say it won't shine even on the brightest days, and looking at it is like looking at the black pit of mouth itself. Their voices alone will cause any man to shiver in fear. No one knows if they're even men. Legend says that their creations of mouth sent out onto the land to snatch up our youth as payments for man's folly. A sin that cast us into an age of darkness and brought the blighting to our lands. Before that age, man had approached enlightenment and knowledge that we couldn't even dream of. Now let's leave that conversation for later. We best eat dinner before it gets cold. Boy, tomorrow we'll need to mend the fence on the south side again. Something broke through it again last night. I tracked the footprints all the way back to the barn this morning. Something must have been sniffing around looking for an easy meal. If it found a way into the barn, we would have lost all of our livestock. Once they find easy prey, more come. It's almost as if they just know one of them found food. Remember what happened 2 years ago at old Blaine's place? Poor fool forgot to secure his stock, and the next morning the barn door was ripped off its hinges. He said he'd never seen the like, just senseless slaughter. Not much was eaten, but those poor animals. Nothing deserves to die like that. Those things that killed it, they killed for pleasure, not for hunger. We need to check the crops too. Best hope and pray that we're not seeing the start of another blat surge. Anyway, enough talk about such dark things tonight. Let's just enjoy our meal.
Well, we walked the fence line and only found one hole, but it was a big one. Those footprints leading away are the biggest I've ever seen. It doesn't have much direction though, just strays left and right. Could it be searching for something? Just thinking about it gives me the chills. I can't stop thinking about it. What kind of monster would leave footprints like that?
Boy, you best pay attention to your work. If that wire's not tightened up, it won't stop anything. Standing there staring off into the distance isn't going to help. We have a lot to do today. We still gotta walk the fence line and see if there's any more repairs needed.
Sorry, I was just thinking about those tracks. They just seem so different than the normal tracks we see. From the looks of it, whatever it was seemed big enough that I don't see how this fence can keep something that size out.
Well, boy, best not try to think too hard about that at the moment. We still have holes, we have animals to protect regardless. Trust me, we'll be safe enough. I'm sure whatever it is has moved on. It didn't find what it was looking for. See the tracks move away from the farm. Plus, most of what comes around only comes around at night. We've always been safe in the house by then. It'll be alright. Now let's go ahead and check the rest of the fence line so we can go eat. I wonder who that could be. We weren't expecting visitors, were we? I thought not. Oh, hello, Jacob. What can I do for you?
Morning. Some strange things have been happening around my place. I wanted to see if you'd seen the same. I tell you, I haven't seen footprints like these in a long time. None of my animals were hurt, just spooked. The last time I remember such strange events was right before the Seekers came last. I tell you, from the way those tracks looked, it was almost as if it had no interest in the animals. The whole thing gives me the chills.
Trust me, these things will sort themselves out, Jacob. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. We've had strange things roaming around at night for a long time now. I'm sure that this is no different.
The whole thing makes me feel like I need to go check my shutters and doors again. I have young kids at home, and my wife is starting to worry more than I am.
I will keep my eye out for anything strange. I'm sure whatever it is, it moved on. We saw tracks too. They meandered about, then went off into the countryside away from the farms and the village. I'm sure it's moved on.
If you say so, we just need to stick together. If you see anything new, let me know. I'll do the same. Good day. I'll see you at the council meeting.
You heard our conversation, didn't you? Thought so. There's nothing to worry about. Just the same creatures roaming the night as always. Well, lunchtime's over, Elton. Let's get back out there and burn those blighted crops before it spreads to the rest of them.
What a day. We spent the majority of it pulling blighted crops. It had to be more than last year. We burned so much. Jacob coming by was strange too. If I didn't know any better, he seemed scared. I'm sure Grandfather was right though. There's always something strange roaming around at night. Just never anything big enough to leave those kind of footprints. We probably have an early day tomorrow. I better get some sleep. What is that noise? Is it coming from outside? No, it's coming from inside the house. Is that Grandfather? Is he sharpening a sword? Since when did he have a sword? He looks worried. Maybe not just worried, he looks sad too. Like he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. I don't think I want to disturb him. I should probably get some sleep and talk to him in the morning. Maybe then I can find out what's going on. That nightmare. Probably just my mind thinking about those footprints. Whatever made them can't be that terrifying. And those teeth. Oh God, those teeth.
Boy, are you gonna eat your food before it gets cold? After you finish, we need to get dressed. We're headed into town. They called a meeting at the town square. Sounds important. You're old enough to be part of these meetings now.
What? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Wait, you said I was going to the meeting with you? You really think I'm ready?
I don't see why not. It's about time you started seeing what life is like as an adult. Better hurry up and finish eating so you can get ready. We have to leave soon if we're going to make it in on time.
Is there something more to this? Usually getting involved in the council meetings means I'm an adult that can run the farm. Does he really think I'm ready? That conversation between grandfather and Jacob, grandfather sharpening a sword, could this all be connected? It just feels like something is off. Grandfather seems almost nervous. Ever since we found the footprints, he hasn't acted like himself. I think I'm going to try to talk to him on the trip to town. If I'm old enough to attend village meetings, then I'm old enough to find out what's really bothering him. Now that I'm dressed, I might as well head downstairs and get ready to leave. It's going to be a long trip to town. We have to be about halfway to town by now. Grandfather hasn't said much since we started the trip. He seems so lost in thought that I don't want to bother him. I can't stop thinking about last night though. Why would he be sharpening a sword? What did he need it for? Is he afraid of something? I have to ask him before we get to the meeting. Now is a better time than any. Grandfather, I saw you last night.
Saw me? Well, of course you saw me last night. You see me every night.
That's not what I meant. I saw the sword. I heard you sharpening it. Is there something I need to know?
I'd hoped you were asleep. I didn't want to worry you. I'm sure I'm worried over nothing too, but Jacob's right. Those footprints are not the usual ones we see. I can't help but think that something isn't right. Bah! You are too young to be bothered by the foolish worries of an old man.
You decided I should start attending meetings now. That proves I'm old enough to know what's going on. You seem worried. Does this have anything to do with those strange footprints?
There are some things I aim to find out before we have this talk. You're right about one thing, my boy. You're not a child any longer. I'm sorry I can't tell you more, but I need to be sure. I need to know. Well, anyway, like I said, it's probably the worries of an old man. I promise if there's anything to truly worry about, I'll tell you. Best not to fret over it at the moment. Now, one thing we can talk about is that you are indeed no longer a child. It's about time you started learning to protect yourself. One day you may need it. And as you can see, I'm not getting any younger. Best that you know a thing or two about how to use a blade.
Now he wants me to learn to use a sword? He's more worried than I thought. He's never lied to me before. I'm sure he's right. If there's something to worry about, I'm sure he would tell me. It looks like we'll be there soon. These are the houses for the craftsmen and trade people of our village. It looks like the blacksmith's working today too. I can see the smoke rising from his chimney. There's the potter's house and the town mill. We should be to the village green any moment. Oh, I can smell that bread from the bakery. Even after eating breakfast, it still makes me hungry.
Let's get these horses tethered up and see what this meeting's all about.
Everyone gather in. We'll now begin the meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to understand where everyone's harvest will be at the end of the season. As you all know, some farms, if not many, have seen the blighting on their crops. I've spoken with a few of you, and it sounds like it's worse than it was last year. As we do every year, we want to make sure that we will have enough to survive the winter. If we need to ration food, we might as well prepare. We will also discuss counts of everyone's flocks. Planning has kept our village fed. We have managed to survive the winters for countless generations. As you know, we have not had contact from another village in many years, and have had to rely on our own harvests. We plan together, we work together, and we survive together. Now, who will be the first to tell everyone how their farm is doing?
Who knew these meetings would be so boring? Well, Elder Hamden did say that we needed a plan for surviving the winter. It sounds like the blighting is worse this year for everybody. Just like our farm, it seems most everyone had to burn more crops this year than any other. There was even talk of rationing early this year. The attacks on the livestock increased too. The craftsmen are complaining about business being slow. Most people just don't have the money or goods to buy more than the bare necessities, especially when we're all worried about this year's harvest.
Before we end this meeting, has anyone else noticed strange footprints around their place? I'm not talking about the usual. At my place, I saw big ones. There are strange things afoot, I tell you. I'm used to seeing strange prints, but I've not seen the likes of these in years.
I've seen the likes of those prints in my place too.
If all these people have seen them, there must be something foul indeed. We all know a foul beast means trouble. Old Beta has a nose for sniffing out trouble. Now, let us not be too hasty. We know there are many things that lurk in the dark. It has been this way for much longer than any of us have been alive. How might this be any different? Livestock have been lost over the years to these creatures. None know what they look like. It has been years since a life has been lost to the dark. I feel we are being too hasty.
You warn us about hasty decisions, but has any of you lost animals to the night after these visits? We all know the last time we saw strange visitors, the Seekers came next. I argue that haste is exactly what we need. Not one among us wants to see this village perish.
If this truly is a sign that the Seekers come, then what do you propose? We fight these men in black? Our histories tell us that those villages who have tried truly did perish. These same books tell us that they always come seeking villagers by name. We must simply hand over these people and be done with it.
You know they always come for our youth. Who here among us is willing to give up their child to these devils? I, for one, will not see my child be carried off to the gods knows where, to never be seen again.
I think we cannot assume that this will be the same as the last time. We are jumping at shadows. I do not argue that we must be vigilant, but we cannot allow fear to get the best of us. Fear leads to quick decisions, and we cannot afford to make the wrong ones. If any of us see anything out of the ordinary over the coming days, speak to me, and we will call another meeting. We can decide what to do once we know more. For now, this meeting is over.
I don't like this one bit. The elders are blinded by fear, and they think that we are the only ones afraid.
Elder, can I speak with you a moment?
Sure, my boy. What can I do for you today? Oh, Elton, it's you. That was your first village meeting. Your grandfather must think you're quite ready if he brought you along.
I guess so. He told me this morning. I just didn't expect...
What? For it to be so boring? These meetings are mainly for us to come together as a village and make sure the needs of the village are met so we can prepare for winter. You know how difficult they can be. Imagine if we were surprised because we ran out of food.
Well, there was one part of the meeting I did want to talk to you about. It's about the Seekers. They came before, right? What happened?
My boy, perhaps I am not the best person to ask about that specific event. It is better to ask your grandfather about that day. It isn't my place to say otherwise.
Can you at least tell me what the Seekers are?
There's not much to tell. What we know is little beyond what our historical scrolls and books tell us, along with first-hand accounts. They come dressed in black, with a hood drawn down covering most of their face. From what I know, the scrolls say that their faces are disfigured and grotesque. They instill fear, almost as if it oozes from them. Beyond that, little more is known, other than it's unwise to defy their demands. Whole villages have been wiped out as punishment. I'm afraid I cannot say more than this.
For some strange reason, it feels like he's nervous. I almost feel like he's hiding something. But why would an elder do that? Why did the blacksmith mention they had been here before? He said something about them taking people. Did that happen the last time too? Is this why my father was taken?
As I said, it is not my place to talk of those events. You should speak to your grandfather with those types of questions. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have more important matters to attend to, Elton. I bid you good day.
By how fast he's walking away, he really doesn't seem to want to talk anymore. Why would he tell me to go talk to my grandfather? Does he know something? Or does he think I'm just too young to really know what happened? Maybe I should ask my grandfather when we get back home later. Well, he said I could spend more time with my friends before we headed back. Working on the farm, we hardly ever make it into town, so I might as well make the most of it. I just need to be back to the square before midday so we can make it home before dark.
Elton, it's time to wake up. We have an early start this morning. I told you yesterday it was time to learn how to use the sword. A man's got to learn how to protect himself. Today, you're going to learn how to keep the pointy end toward your enemy and not stab yourself.
But this is wood. I thought I was going to use your sword.
Of course it's wood. I can't have you cutting off your fingers stabbing me. It'll take time to get there, but you'll have the real thing in your hands soon enough. Now hurry up and get dressed.
I guess he was really serious about me learning how to use the sword. But why now? First, the mysterious footprints, then what the blacksmith said about the Seekers taking people. This has to be part of it. I wonder when he had time to make this. It doesn't look new. It looks old. How long has he had this? Well, I don't want to keep him waiting.
There are 3 times a sword is most dangerous: when you draw it, when you swing it, and when you sheath it. Today we're going to work on the easiest: when you swing it. It's important to swing the blade at the right angle and the right direction. If you can manage both, you have control over the blade. When one or the other is not correct, your blade can go in a direction you didn't plan for. It may not cut right, or the cut might force your blade in the wrong direction. At all times, you want to control your blade. If you lose control, you're dead. Now watch me. Your grip is important as well. This controls not only the angle of the blade, but allows you to control the flow of your swing and put power into your cut. Grab your sword like this. You see my hands? Good. Now listen to my blade as I swing it. Did you hear that? That sound means your blade is straight. If it's not, you're not going to hear that sound. The sword speaks to you when it's used properly. Some will say a good swordsman will make his blade sing. Even a wooden sword will make its own sound if the blade's straight. Let me see your practice sword. Now that's the sound you're looking for. Now for today, I want you to try and get that sound as you swing. Once you've done it 10 times in a row, we'll move on. For today, just swing out and down in a straight line. While you're doing that, I'm going to go let the sheep out into the pasture and walk the fence line.
How hard could this be? Okay, that didn't work. Something tells me this is going to take some time. Well, I did want to learn how to use this.
How's it coming, boy?
The best I could do is 7 in a row.
Hey, that's not half bad. I expected less. You're a quick learner. Getting the angle of the blade right is not easy, but the key is to have it right every time. If you can get the sound out of that practice sword, then you'll get it out of the real one as well. Practice swords are harder to get the sound. Well, that's enough for now. We have work to do. Ready to get started?
Before we do, can I ask you something?
Of course, my boy, ask away.
I spoke to Elder Hamden about the Seekers and asked him why they came. He wouldn't give me an answer. He just said that the answer should come from you.
I suppose this day had to come sooner or later. I was just hoping you'd be a little older before we talked. With everything that's happened, I guess you have a right to know. They came when you were just a baby. They came looking for your father. We don't know why, but they took him. We had no choice. He made the decision to go. He called it a sacrifice to save the village and to save you. You see, the Seekers would have killed everyone and burned the entire village to the ground if we refused. I remember him looking down at you and smiling. I'm sure he meant it when he said he wanted to save the village, but more than anything, he wanted to save you. I can't tell you anything more than you already knew. He loved you, boy. He would have done anything to keep you safe.
He seemed nervous when we talked. Why wouldn't he want to answer my questions?
I'm sure Elder Handman knew that we already had this talk, just not the details. I didn't think it was right for you to go your whole life without knowing why your father wasn't around.
Is that why you want me to learn how to use a sword?
No, that's because I really didn't know what's been stalking around our farm. And if the time comes, I want you to know how to defend yourself. I saw more tracks while I was walking the fence today. You're old enough to help defend the farm. I'm getting old, boy. And if anything should happen to me, I want to know that you can take my place. Someday this farm will be yours. It isn't much, but there will come a time where you'll be working this land with your own family. Maybe you'll be standing here in this very spot, having a conversation with your own grandchildren.
Where did you learn how to use a sword?
Back in the years of my father, bandits used to roam the lands beyond our village. In those days, and in the days of his father, it was a regular occurrence. Lives were lost, and those who didn't know how to fight died. Those who did lived. I'm sure there are a few others that remember those times well enough. The last bandit raid was before I was born. I can't say how many passed down their knowledge to their kin, but I'm sure some did. The lands beyond our village are harsh and unforgiving. Those that venture too far never make it back.
How did the merchants make it from village to village if it was so dangerous?
The merchants would travel in groups, heavily armed and well supplied for a long journey. Many had used maps passed down for generations. The key to surviving is knowing how to get from one place to another. If you become lost, you'll run out of supplies or the bandits will get you. Who knows how the bandits survive out there? Either way, you're as good as dead if you don't have a map. Well, let's get today's work done and I can try to answer any more questions floating around in that head of yours later. I think after all that practice, you're ready to start seeing how a real fight looks. Okay, let's take a break. Okay, I'm not going easy on you like I have in the past. You still have a long way to go, but I think you can handle some actual attacks. Now just do what I taught you and you'll be fine. Remember, you can tell a lot by the way your opponent moves. A good swordsman won't look straight at where they're going to attack. You have to take in their full body as much as you can. Remember, hips, shoulders, feet, chest, angle of the blade all have a way of helping you determine how they're going to strike. Let's see if you can fend off a few blows. Very good. You countered all 3 attacks on your first try. You're going to be a fine fighter when I'm through with you. We won't have time to practice this morning. The elders have called another meeting. After you finish eating, wash up. We'll need to leave soon or we'll miss the meeting.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get ready. I just had a few bites left. This all feels so strange. Just a few weeks ago, everything was normal. Just daily chores and the usual conversations. Now I'm going to village meetings. My grandfather is talking to me about taking over the farm, teaching me how to use a sword. He's been on edge since we saw those footprints. He isn't the only one. It seems those footprints have a lot of people worried. Is all of this really just about me being old enough to learn to protect myself? Or is there something more to it? Should I be more worried than I already am? Do you have any idea what this meeting is all about?
Honestly, boy, I have no clue. Jacob didn't know either. It seemed like they rushed to send out invitations. Word of mouth only travels so fast. They sent people out to tell as many as they could. Usually, it's a lot slower process.
Do you think we have anything to worry about?
Not in the slightest. Our harvest's pretty low. From the sounds of it, most everyone's expecting low harvest as well. I'm sure that we're going to need to ration food this year. We haven't seen a merchant in years, so I'm guessing we don't have to worry about selling to them. We still need to make sure that mouths are fed and stomachs are somewhat full. Remember, not everyone farms. Those people really rely on us helping. Try not to worry too much. I know that things have been strange recently, but there really is nothing to worry about. Our village has had very little excitement or danger in a long time. We all live mostly peaceful lives. Yes, we have to worry about what's roaming around at night, but most people are safe. We all know how to keep our farms locked up at night. No one's gone missing in quite a while.
What about my father?
Sadly, he's the exception. I miss him, boy. I often wonder how much life would be different if he was still with us. It'll drive you crazy if you dwell on the past too long, though, Elton. Even he was one of a small few that's gone missing since I've been alive. I know, me teaching you the sword has you thinking. But honest truth, I just think it's time for you to start learning to protect yourself. Anyway, enough about that. Just make sure when we finish the meeting you get some time with your friends. You don't get to see them often. While we're in town, you might want to find time to talk to that girl Elsie too. I heard she's been asking about you.
Are you trying to play matchmaker with me too?
Quiet down, quiet down. We will call this meeting to order. Many of you are wondering why we have gathered you all so quickly. After reviewing the counts that were recorded from our last meeting and checking our supplies from last year, we have grim news. The blighting has taken a toll this year. Many have lost more crops than we can do without this winter. We will need to ration this year. Unlike in years past, we will all have to do with much less than we are used to. No one will starve, and no one will go without. But we cannot afford to waste. There will be days where many of us will need to skip a meal. We will pull through this, as we always do. Let us pray that next year is better. We can't afford for it to get any worse. Those of you who do not own farms, remember who is feeding you this year. Take that to mind when others need things from you. We must be kind to each other and watch out for each other. We have always survived hardships before. We are strong. We have always taken care of each other when times are tough. Let this year be no different. We have one more matter to discuss. At our last meeting, some of you made clear your worries about those mysterious footprints. Has anyone seen any more since our last meeting? I think we can all agree that whatever was skulking about is likely gone. Is there anyone who objects? It has been quite some time now since this was brought up. Very well. We will call this meeting adjourned. Everyone, carry on with their day.
See there, boy? Like I said, nothing to worry about other than what I said earlier. Meals will be smaller. We may need to skip a few, but we'll be fine. Now run along and make the most of your time. I expect you back by the wagon by midday.
I will. What are you going to do?
You're not the only one with friends. I'll be at the inn having a brandy and a conversation with a few fine folk while enjoying my pipe.
Okay, I'll be back by midday.
Oh, and Elton, before you leave, make sure to have a chat with Elsie today. I hear she's in Miss Hapford's seamstress shop.
Just like the last trip, this one seems just as quiet. Grandfather doesn't look as worried this time, but he hasn't said much either. I'm sure he's just worried about the harvest and the shortage of food. I can't help but be worried too. I remember having some meals that seemed less than normal growing up. Now that I think about it, I remember nights where my grandparents claimed that they were not hungry. Could those have been hard times too? I guess I was just too young to understand. Well, this time, I'm going to do my part. I'm sure Elder Hamden is right. We will make it through just fine. At least everyone seems a little less worried about the Seekers and those strange prints. Maybe they're right, and whatever it is has moved on. It isn't like we haven't seen strange things before. I guess I'm just jumping at shadows at this point. At least I know how to handle myself around a sword enough to protect myself. The last time we sparred with practice swords, Grandfather seemed really impressed. He said I picked it up more quickly than he expected. It will be good to get back to my chores and my normal worries.
Sorry, Elton. Tonight's meal isn't much, but we best start saving what we have now. Not everyone's going to do as well as they should. It's better if we have a little extra stored up just in case.
It's okay. I'm just glad to do my part. When I was younger, did you skip dinners because of other food shortages?
Well, you were a growing boy. You needed it more than your grandmother and I. The only way that we could grow was out.
This time, I don't want either of us going hungry. Please promise that we will get equal shares.
I guess you really have grown up. Well, it's settled then. We'll split the meals equally. When we finish supper and you've washed the dishes, try not to stay up too late. I'm aiming to have an early start tomorrow. The wagon sounded like it needs a little attention, and I need your help. You need to oil the horse tack in the barn, and we need to walk the fence again.
I won't. I'm tired enough as it is. Who knows? I may be up and ready before you tomorrow.
And I'll be sheep swallowed if I see the day you're up and ready before me. We're in the small hours of the morning. Who's knocking on my door at this hour? I'm not opening it unless I know who you are, and it better be important. Only a madman would travel in the dark.
If you do not open this door, it will be you who is dead by this night.
As I said, state your name or leave. I'm not opening the door otherwise. Jacob, this better not be you playing a prank. You're going to get yourself killed.
We are not a patient group.
Elton, go to the window and see if you can see who it is.
I can't see much. Just 6 horses and 2 men. It's too dark to see them clearly. They don't seem to have any lanterns or torches.
Our patience runs thin. We have business with this house and will not be turned away. If you would rather, we will let ourselves in. Or we can put your house to the torch and smoke you out like vermin.
State who you are, and I may consider your request.
As I said, our patience is thin.
By the light, it can't be.
Ah, yes, you recognize our kind. You know who we are. You also know that your lives are insignificant. Obey and live. We have come for the boy. Give him to us and you will be spared. The others thirst for blood and this village is ripe for harvest.
Grandfather? Who are they?
Stay back, boy!
Ah, yes. There he is. You, boy, you will come with us or we will kill this man.
Grandfather? Grandfather, are these men seekers?
They are indeed. I'll offer myself if you spare the boy. I won't put up a fight. Just don't harm him.
We have no interest in you, only the boy. Now, boy, what do you say? It is a simple matter to push the blade just a bit further. The heart is not soft, but to this blade, it will be like a dip into water.
I have already given up one of my kin to you devils. I will not abandon another to the likes of you.
You seem to think you have a choice in this matter. We will take the boy whether you live or die. You know the stories. We take what we desire, or you and everyone here will pay the price. This is your last chance, boy. Come with us. He lives. You refuse. He dies.
What choice do I have? Please just spare him, and I'll come with you. I just don't want anyone hurt. Please take the sword away from him.
Ah, I knew you would see reason. No sense in more bloodshed than need be. And better to bring you with us alive than dead.
No, Elthin! Flee! Run!
I tire of this prattle. Now come with us, or I send my men to kill the rest.
Grandfather! You bastards! How could you? He wasn't fighting you! He wasn't fighting you! He wasn't fighting you. He wasn't fighting.
We require you alive, boy. But if we have to, we can deliver your body instead. Our master will not be happy, but a corpse will do.
No! I can't. I won't go with you. I will find a way to fight you. You took my father. You killed my grandfather. What more can you take from me?
You will not run.
Why can't I move? My legs act like they're frozen in place. My whole body won't respond. How is this possible?
Ready the wagon and bring some rope to bind him.
This podcast was written and produced by Sanguinary Studios. Narrator, Barrick, Benson. Music provided by Joel Studler Music.